Well, hello out there in YouTube land. Hope you're all doing well. I just got back in. You can tell my hair's a mess. I've been outside. It's cold, windy, and rainy. Got a nor'easter storm coming in right now. I apologize if you hear beeping in the background. Like the one smoke detector is defective, so it's not the batteries; it's the smoke detector itself. And no carbon monoxide or anything, so I just gotta replace that damn thing. Anyway, we're back home now. I just came back from the movies actually. The local theater by me shows like these little flashback specials every weekend. So they have like a Halloween related movie for month of October, and they were. I just came back. I saw a matinee showing of Corpse Bride, the Tim Burton movie, celebrating 20 years old. I'd never seen it before. Thought it was fantastic. Actually, I had seen a video. There's another YouTuber on here, a big one named John Solo. He does like these messed up origins videos. And he did a video about the messed up origins of Corpse Bride, and I will include that in the description box below for anybody in case you're interested. Again, see at the corner of my desk, you got, there they are, little cosmic lovers over there. My desk, the lovers, there you go. Anyway, this morning I posted my review. I read the novella 1922 by Stephen King. Highly recommend that disturbing story for spooky season. And I said, I read a little funny play as a palate cleanser to take a break after reading this story. I've been building it up so much I can finally tell you the name of the play I read. It was called Art, simply titled Art, and it was by the French playwright Yasmina Reza. It came out in 1994. I gotta tell you why this play crossed my mind recently, because it's on Broadway. There's only three people in the cast. You have Neil Patrick Harris, Bobby Cannavale, and James Corden. They play the three characters. It's just the three of them the whole entire play. So once again, they were highlighting it on the news. So if I find some the news footage highlighting the play, I will put it in the description box once again for you. And so I'm watching this, and I hadn't thought about this in years, but I remembered I saw this play when I was a kid, in like I guess it was the late '90s. There's a very prominent theater up in northern New Jersey. It's called the Paper Mill Playhouse. I've seen a lot of big stars there. A lot of the old time stars have been there. You think my mother, my grandparents were that. I'm very familiar with a lot of the old stars as much as the contemporary stuff of my own generation. So like you meet the stars at the stage door, and I knew who they were. I was a little kid. I think I'm a little kid amongst my parents' age and like senior citizens. I think some of these big stars like Cheetah Rivera, famous dancer. Let's see. Ann Miller. She was a famous tap dancer way back when. I think she had the record for like most taps in a minute. One other guy I met, kind of going at a little detour here, telling about this story. There's another famous actor, Eddie Bracken. I'll post this picture here. You might recognize him. He was such a sweet man. Like he looked at me. He was so surprised I knew who he was. I said, "Yeah, like you're Mr. Duncan from Home Alone 2." Of course, I knew who he was. Very nice man. In case you're wondering, that particular show with Eddie Bracken was No No Nanette, which is a famous show. So anyway, so we saw this play at the Paper Mill Playhouse. Art. Actually, the main character, the character we're introduced to first, I should say, because there's three of them. His name is Mark, and we saw he was played by Judd Hirsch. That guy, yes, I think Judd Hirsch. He was on the famous sitcom Taxi back in the '70s, and then there was that crime show Numbers. That was a big hit. I always liked that show. Yeah, he was in the show. He played the lead. So let's get right to it. I'll tell you what the show is about. I thought it was so funny. So first, I should explain, since the show came out in the early '90s, it is a bit of a satire because, like in the '90s, the economy was booming, and along with that, there's like pros and cons to everything. So one of the cons in this case was, now that people have extra money in their pocket, they were spending their money on, superficial stuff, like just to show off that they had the money to spend. And so one of the things people bought was, as you can tell by the title, art. So that brings us to our main character, Mark. We're introduced to him. He goes to meet his friend Serge. Serge has bought a painting. It's like an abstract painting, like the no clearings, like the lines, what represents this and whatnot. You hear all that stuff. But here's the thing: it's a white canvas, and the paint is white. So you look at it, it's just a plain white canvas, and that's it. So right, this is apparently even as a little kid, I had a very cynical sense of humor. I got it. So right off the bat, if you find that funny, then you have a very dry sense of humor. This is the play for you. Couldn't recommend it more. And as a matter of fact, she mentioned Yasmina Reza. She wrote another play that got a lot of attention. It was called Gods of Carnage. Remember, it was on Broadway. I think Jeff Daniels and James Gandolfini were in that one. I think it was made into a movie a few years ago. And that was a simple premise too. It was about like two parents meeting because their sons had gotten into a fight at school. So very simple subject matters, but she really milks the most out of them. I love this playwright. So anyway, so back to the show. So Serge, he spent a lot of money on this painting, and Mark hates it. And Serge is so offended, like it's like testing their friendship. Like, oh, you don't like the painting I bought? And Mark tells him, well, you bought a piece of white shit. What do you want? And so in the mix, there's the third friend, Yvonne. Like he's kind of caught in the middle of this, kind of like a sappy kind of character. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the play. So I should mention too how I bought it as an ebook. It was like $5. So I couldn't recommend it more. It was hysterical. Like I said, if you look about the Gods of Carnage, that's probably I'm sure it's available to rent somewhere because it was made to a movie a few years ago. So yeah, let's see where do I want to go with this. So yeah, that was it. Could not recommend that more. It was hysterical, and I will spoil one thing for you, but don't worry, I'll sign off, and then I will spoil the ending a little bit because there's something I gotta say because it was hilarious. So let's wrap it up there, folks. Hope you're all staying warm and hope the weather's nice wherever you guys are. Because after all, the winter is, excuse me, not the winter. Excuse me, we're only getting colder and colder. Look at the fall and the winter pretty soon. So anyway, folks, once I sign off, stick around. I'll tell you a little thing that happens at the ending of the play art. And let's just wrap it up, folks. Have a good one. Okay, signing off and spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so at the end of the play, Serge finally gives in. He admits that he didn't buy a good painting, and he tells Mark. Well, first he gives Mark like a Sharpie. He tells Mark, just draw whatever you want on it. So Mark does. Okay, so he draws. First, Mark draws a diagonal line from like top left corner to the bottom right. Then he stands in front. He draws something on it, and when he steps out of the way, you see what Mark drew on it was a little stick figure of a man skiing. And all the white, all the snow. Oh God, it was hilarious. So I don't think there's any performances here on YouTube or anything. If there is, I'll find one. I'll just post it. But yeah, art, absolutely hysterical. Yasmina Reza has such a fantastic, satirical, sarcastic, cynical sense of humor. Anyway, and like I said, once again, fantastic palate cleanser after reading 1922. Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, I'll get back to the good old spooky stuff. This is the one I got here. I mentioned this in like my little what I'll be reading video, my spooky season plans. We're gonna move on to this one, Zombie Bake Off. Got wrestling donuts that turn people into zombies. So, Stephen King, got the palate cleanser. Now we get some Halloween fun going on here. Ooh. While you're here, I'll show you one other book I just bought. Very much looking forward to this baby after spooky season's done. Lionel Richie, legend. This is an enormous book too. He had some funny stories about making this, but I'll save it for when this video comes. All right. Take care, everyone. Happy spooky season.